Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Master Duel. Well, it's here. Alice in Wonderland has finally invaded Master Duel. The Red Queen, along with all of the major casts and characters of Alice. I was gonna say Alice in Wonderland, but it's basically the same thing. This is like Konami's second romp into using Alice in Wonderland as the backdrop for an archetype. And well, it's fused with science again. The first one was with Cosmo, with Star Wars, and now you have just computer stuff in general. There is a Yugi tuber by the name of Golden Nova YuGiOh that goes into really deep dive into what Malice is about lore-wise and what each of the girls here represent. They're all apparently computer terms in one way or another, but with them being in the game, you will see a lot of them on the ladder right now. And they have a lot, and I mean a lot, of banishing effects. Banishing them even will not work so well because they have a lot of advantage when they are banished. So yeah, they are the queens of ladder right now, and well, more and more graveyard decks are getting shoved right into the wayside because destroying stuff is just not cutting it anymore. A lot of stuff gain benefits from being destroyed, and Malice gets around that. So, as you can see here, I have the core ready and waiting. I just need a couple more cards, and to get those cards, we're gonna be riding with Yubel one last time. I'm going to break down this entire deck once this video is over, and not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss this deck. It's one of the most powerful decks I've ever had the pleasure of piloting in a long while, and I had fun every step of the way, and I will not exchange the world for it. So, without further ado, let's rock it with Yubel one last time. Going first, so that's a good sign. My opponent, well, everybody got into Malice, unfortunately, as soon as it was available, but this is a 60 card pile, so I'm already worried at the type of spice my opponent could potentially have here. But we opened with one of those rare hands with Yubel Fiendsmith that will allow me to do this. Because I opened with the two, well, basically soft bricks in hand, I can very easily make Phantom of Yubel without breaking a sweat. Now that Phantom of Yubel is on the field, we have a called by the... What? Why? Why are you forcing the issue on that thing? Just why? Okay then, you're just gonna give me additional body on board, so thanks, I guess. I can make another one, if I am so inclined, so there is that, opponent. I will happily destroy one of the spirits and then summon OG Yubel onto the field. I don't know why you would do it that way, opponent, but okay, fine, you do you. So there's that. You didn't think I wouldn't do that, but here we are. So then we get Dark Beckoning Beast. Let's see what other forms of interaction my opponent could potentially have. They could have Duel in hand, now that I think about it. And they indeed do. Alright, cool. So now, what we can do is just play off of the graveyard, which, surprisingly, Yubel Fiendsmith can do. We won't be getting anything off of that, unfortunately. But, we can get a few more bodies, so... my lines are going to be weird, simply because we're under Duel, but we can play very well under Duel, because that's just how Yubel works. So, get OG Yubel there. We summon the Terror Incarnate. There we go. And then, I believe we have enough mats to... Yep, we have enough material to get the other Phantom. So, we get these two out of the way. We'll shuffle them back into the deck. Then we get Phantom out, and now we will go through the Fiendsmith line. So we do this first. There we go. We're gonna, you know, keep our hopes and dreams up by keeping Engraver in hand, and hopefully we can revive him in a bit. So we're gonna see. Okay, then we send Moon of the Close Heaven to the graveyard. There we go. Oh god, I'm gonna miss this archetype so much. But Malice is Malice, and well, they have... Konami has been making a lot of efforts in basically keeping a lot of these graveyard decks in very good check. And that's honestly a good thing. Because now people are going to have ways and decks to play so that they can combat these really annoying graveyard decks. And again, that's a really good thing. Diversity is the key to making a card game last for as long as it does. So it's really good, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But I will still miss it. Don't get me wrong. I'll still miss it. Sadly, we cannot go too far, but we quite literally already have everything that we need. So we'll just summon that out. We'll shuffle her back in because I don't think we have any other reason not to. So we get Lacrima, the extra deck Lacrima. There we go. Then we use that guy's effect. We will target the Engraver. Yes, we will special summon him onto the field. There we go. We got Agnus Dei out. There we go. And then we go into DD Wave Hiking Caesar. Or just Wave Hiking Caesar. No, everybody tends to forget that he's a DDD monster. So there we go. And then do we have a, oh god, we don't, oh wait, no, we have Dark Beckoning Beast. There we go. We still have, oh wait, no, we actually no, we don't need to go into the Muckracker. We don't need to go into Muckracker. Or actually no, we could have gone into Muckracker, but we sadly do not have any cards in hand at all. So there is that. But we will end up on 3 negates, so to speak. So I guess that'll be fine, but it's very vulnerable. Any board wide, well, not really board wide, any board wipe, there we go. Why did I forget the word board wipe for a second there? Any board wipe is definitely going to kill this board that I've built. But that's just the way it is. That's just how Yu-Gi-Oh is. Again, opponent is running a 60-card deck of some kind. I don't know why. But Drone Lockbird is maybe the biggest smoking gun here, because there's only really one deck right now that runs the Droll, and that would be Malice. But I don't know why opponent would be rocking a 60-card version of the deck, because that would make it way too inconsistent. I have been in talks with one of the veterans at the shop I work at, and he has been playing the archetype for over a year. And well, let's just say the amount of insight that I got from him is amazing in helping me learn the deck, the ins and outs, and how fucking resilient it is. It's unbelievable at how resilient it is, and just how much interaction you could have with that deck, and how it could very easily avoid traditional removal. It's insane at how good Malice is. Don't get me wrong though, Tier Laments is still like the most busted deck that Konami has ever put out. But in spite of that, Malice is, I guess you could say, a close second. So there's that. Or, you know, there are probably other archetypes that fit closer to it, but that's another kind of worms that I will not go into in this video. Okay, I guess we just attack into my opponent here, because we literally cannot do anything else. Or we can try to push for damage, because we literally need a thing to revive things so that we can get a Samsara these nuts. So there's that. Okay, what are you negating? Okay, Wave Hiking Caesar, that I think is fine. Actually, no, yeah, definitely very fine. I'm not going, unless he has a way to special summon, like, right frickin' now. That's okay then, opponent. That is fine. Does he not take battle damage with this? I have to read the card, because I very rarely use this, even when I was playing Rescue Ace first for a time. So there's that. Yeah, it doesn't say that he doesn't take the damage. So opponent, you are in very big trouble here. Okay, so we revive the Phantom Yubel, finally getting the Nightmare Pain into rotation, and I think I'll just be a hop, skip, and a jump to my victory from here. So I don't know how far I'm gonna go. But first we need to recycle the second opening of the Spirit Gates. We're gonna get that back first, and then we're gonna, well, we could try to run over, but they're under the effects of Reinforce right now. So we do need a way to get even more damage than usual into that. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Wait, no. Unaffected by monster effects. Yeah, no. The next time it would be destroyed by battle, it's not destroyed. Oh, the next time, huh? Alright, I think I have a way. So, we attack with the 2 Yubels first. There we go. And then, I mean, he will survive all 4 of these, combat. Oh, right. I forgot that, yeah, contain also prevents attacking. Alright, opponent did a good job there. In that case, I guess we're just going to Varudras. And there we go. This only until end of turn, right? Let me reread Reinforce. Yeah, for the rest of the turn. Yep. Alright. We can go into Varudras, which is a card that I very rarely go into. And there's only the deck that uses it, more than any other deck. And yeah, just leave that be. And well, there you go, opponent. Let's see you do something about this. Again, I very rarely go into Varudras. It's such a cool design for in terms of art. That's what I'm describing here. Varudras, do your thing. Negate the activation and then destroy 1 card on the field. I guess detach a material. Boom. There we go. We're just gonna detach 1. We'll just negate that effect, but we will not destroy a card because we can't exactly afford that at the moment. There we go. Destroy a card? No, that we are fine. That's one thing that you can tend to forget when you're playing with Varudras. You can choose not to detach a second material to destroy a card on the field because you more often than not you just shotgun that shit. So there is that. Okay, he just tagged himself out, so I guess we revive him back. Opponent, did you not realize that I could do that? Wait, I could have returned him to hand. No, I don't think it matters. So we just put back Unchained Soul of Rage. There you go, opponent. Thank you. Destroy card? Absolutely yes. I could just destroy this for the shits and giggles. There we go. Now that that's out of the way, I don't know what else my opponent could potentially do here. I mean, they could still mount a comeback with their meager resources here, but I highly doubt they ever will. So I don't know how much else my opponent is going to do here. I mean, I barely got into my Fiendsmith lines, like, at all. I only got into the, you know, the line of Fiendsmith that gets me into Wave Hiking Caesar, and then, boom, here we are. So, I guess I just attack, and I kill my opponent. I'll see you guys in the next duel. Won the die rolls, so I'm going first, and my opponent's on the Earth's Arctic ship, so that is nice. We have both copies of Nightmare Throne, which is insane, by the way. So we get the Ash Blossom bait out of the way, but my opponent did not fall for it, so that is automatically scary. That means that they have other... Oh, never mind. They are a 60-card pile, so who's to say? Oh, they could have Drone Lockbird in hand. Okay, then. Good on you, opponent, but I don't think that's gonna stop me here. Because my deck can play under the role pretty goddamn well. It's just not going to be as efficient, but I can do it. So there is that. We're gonna summon spirits. Yep, activate spirits. We will automatically set it onto the field here. There we go. And then we get this out of the way. Oh, we can't even activate it, right? Because this needs to be add to hand. Alright, cool. I guess we just go straight into the Fiendsmith line if that isn't so much of a bother for you, opponent. There we go. Forgot that this adds straight to hand, and it's part of the entire effect, I believe. I'll read it once the anime. Draw a card, and if you do, yep. So A must happen before B. So yeah, it's an A then, or rather, it's an A B, and it's a line that has to happen before you can do anything else. All right, cool. So we get Requiem out of the way. There we go. And then we summon the main deck version of Lacrima. Then we use Lacrima's effect here. And then we're gonna send Agnus Dei because we can't exactly send the other one because we have other material that we have to be able to work with. So we get Spirit of Yubel and Dark Beckoning Beast. There we go. Then we put that in face-up attack position as a show of force. There we go. Then we use Agnus Dei here. We're going to return Moon of the Close Heaven. There we go. And then we get him out. There we go. Alrighty. Now we do this. And then we link summon sequence. There we go. And once we link summon sequence, we could go into Aerial Eater so that we can send the Grave Squirmer to the graveyard. But I think that's being a little too greedy, so we're just going to end with Lacrima and then we're gonna pass. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything else here, unfortunately. So we're just gonna end with Wave Hiking Caesar and an Infinite Permanence. We also have a Maxi in hand, so that's also really good. But yeah, it's still also there's also a pretty decent board, all things considered. So there is that. We could have done more, but I think we'll be fine with what we have here. I could have attached Agnus Dei there, but again, we're playing under Duel right now, so I don't think it matters. And yeah, there's it, opponent. You didn't have a Maxi, you didn't have anything else. So now I have 3 negates, well, 4 if you count the Infinite Impermanence. And I'm just gonna Maxi you here, and there we go. Let's see what you got, opponent. Let's see what you got. You have an Ash Blossom. Okay, cool. I could say no to that, but at least that's the Ash Blossom bait. So there is that. I still have 4 points of interaction, so at least we got their Ash Blossom out of the way. I don't know why. Wait, no. They probably drew that this turn because they did not use it the entire time that I was playing out my turn. Is this Mermail? Holy shit. Is this actually Mermail? Yeah, it's Atlanteans and Mermails. Yeah, holy shit. I'm not going to allow you to do that, unfortunately. We send Agnus Dei first because we don't have any Light Fiends in the graveyard. And I'm just gonna burn my opponent on the second time that they try to special summon. There you go. Right, we negated that, Poseidra, so there's that. I have yet to face Fiendsmith in this, not Fiendsmith, no. I want to face Malice in this recording in particular, because I just want you guys to see just how fucking bonkers that deck is. But we haven't encountered them yet, and I hope that by speaking it into existence, it's going to happen. See you guys in the next duel. Lost the die roll, finally. Going second, and we did not open with any interaction at all. So let's see what you got, opponent. Holy crap! This is like the 3rd deck in a row where I was facing off against 60 card piles. Let's see what my opponent has from here. Okay, it's Onomats. I believe they got a bunch of new support recently. It was the Gaga Gaga Go 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 cards, if I remember correctly. It could be something else completely different. They got it in the paper game recently. I don't know if they've implemented it into Master Duel, so I'm going to find out soon enough. Unless, of course, this is just an FTK deck, which is very, very likely. Dear God, we're lagging again. There we go. They revealed the OG Utopia, so that's not saying everything, but it is saying a lot of things. They're gonna they're gonna exceed spam here, but I don't know how far though. Okay, Utopia double, usually not a good sign. This could just be the FTK deck, because a lot of the FTKs, especially the ones that have bots, or rather that are run by bots, they tend to have the Onomat engine in it, so there is that. Though said FTK decks that use the Xyz stuff, they only tend to have less than 15 cards in their extra deck, because that's all they ever really need, are those few handful of cards that are in the extra deck, because they're the only ones that enabled that shit. So let's see what my opponent is Xyz shamaning into. Okay, ultimately your Utopia Ray. That's not exactly the FTK enabler. It is a negate, if I remember correctly. Okay, using Zubaba Bancho and Zubaba Bancho Gagaga Coat, getting Utopic Onomatopoeia. Is this guy a negate? I believe he is a negate. Well, it has a ZW. He doesn't have any ZWs equipped, unfortunately. Utopic Sage. Okay, sure. He actually hasn't gotten any of the Utopic weapons at all. So none of my opponent's negates are live right now. So that's a good thing. Finally a Z weapon. So there is that. And my opponent screwed it up royally. I'll just check their deck in post, and I'll just see what kind of magic they were cooking up. But without further ado, let's just move on to the next duel. Won the die roll yet again, and my previous opponent was actually the FTK deck. because they had number 43 Manipulator of Souls in the extra deck, and don't know why they would go 60 cards, because you can just get you can just be a 40 card deck and still accomplish the same thing. Don't know why you would add 20 extra cards just to make it work, but here we are. Now we're going to get some out of these nuts. There we go. Add that one to hand, and opponent is playing a smaller deck, so we can safely assume that this is a more normal way of things. We're gonna normal summon a couple of times before my opponent gets to draw cards here, and we're gonna be fine with that. Oh dear. There we go. All right. The flap that covers my air condition so that my laptop can get some cool air pointed at it literally just blew off. So that's why my voice got thrown for a little there. But we're fine now. We are fine. So now we get Dark Beckoning Beast. Get the other opening of the Spirit Gate. There we go. Then we extra normal a Samsara these nuts, and we're gonna go through the whole rigmarole. We are under Fualos, so I could take the Fualos challenge. Doesn't sound as threatening as the Max C challenge, but I think we can just end on okay then, opponent. You do you, but I don't think it's going to work out so well for you. There we go. Having Gravescormer in hand lets you dodge like stuff like this, so that's definitely really goddamn Gucci. And yes, I would like to destroy a card. Destroy this, thank you. So we still get Nightmare Pain nonetheless, because he was not negated. Well, I keep forgetting that Yubel's gender is yes. So there we go. Now that that's quote-unquote negated, because we have Nightmare Throne and Spirit of Yubel, we can summon both. There we go. Now we just have plenty of material to work with, and well, we can just go into Varudras and pass. But I really want to go into to get into the Wave Hiking Caesar at the very least, but that will make my opponent draw like a bajillion cards, so there is that. Alright, I special summon from hand, so my opponent doesn't get to draw for that. Hurrah! Alright, I guess we just go into the Fiendsmith line now, yeah? So we get into those, there we go. Move to Ghost Heaven, there we go. Yeah, I know I missed a timing deck. I know what I'm doing here. So now we do this. We'll shuffle back in OG Yubel and Spirit of Yubel. There we go. We'll put Phantom to the side there. And I'm gonna make my opponent draw plenty of cards, but it is sadly necessary. Again, we don't have a way to get into that one yet, so I guess we still go into the normal Fiendsmith lines, unfortunately. So there's that. Then we got Requiem. Again, if I lose here, I mean, it's deserved, because ending only on Phantom of Yubel is a very, very weak board. So that is fine. And then again, if my opponent has interaction, he has to contest my Phantom here. And he already used an Infinite Impermanence, so now all he has left are Ash Blossoms. Speaking of. No thank you, opponent. I'm gonna use that there. There we go. And they're under Fualos anyway, so they're not going to be able to keep everything that they have here. They will need to shuffle some of the stuff away, especially if I keep summoning stuff. So there is that. Okay, there we go. Then we got Lacrima. And now, the funny part. Lacrima Chainlink 1, then Spirit Chainlink 2. Again, just as a reminder, one last time, Yubel's on-destruction effect is not once per turn. As long as you keep destroying Yubel, it's going to keep summoning it. Oh my god. Alright, then Lacrima. We can't exactly go into the Fiendsmith in Paradise line because we don't have too many level 6s. Oh wait, no, we do have a level 6. And his name is Aerial Eater. Wait, do we have any other level 6? I don't think so. Yeah. Well, since we already have access to some out of these nuts, we can actually safely send Fiendsmith in Paradise here. And then we link summon into sequence, and then after... Oh my god, opponent. Okay, fine, fine. Be the fun police, sure. I got Nibiru'd, fine. My world got rocked, fine. But I think that's still fine. No, I will not activate that one just yet. Now, we can activate Nightmare Pain, and I think we can still extend from here. But I don't know how far though. We're gonna discard Opening of the Spirit Gates. Yeah, because we can get it back later. There we go. And then, we already activated some out of these nuts effects, so sad. I guess we get this guy out. There we go. So we have a Fiend. Let's see what else we can come up with. Not much, unfortunately. What else can we do? We can use Squirmer to get another body on board. Yeah, we can use this to get into Varudras. Because we literally have nothing else to do on our turn. Or, I could do that. Yeah, we're just going to Varudras here. Because we literally can't do anything else. And that's unfortunate. So... Oh, wait, no. Have I not used... Oh, wait, no. I have already used the revival effect. Unfortunately, this is all we can do. I mean, again, I played into Fualos, and, well, this is what I get. Although I do have a max C, so, we can do it that way. I believe we can... Yeah, okay, we can still go into the other Phantom here, because we still have material in the graveyard. So we still have access to a bunch of negates, in spite of everything my opponent tried to do. So yeah, here, pass. And they don't even get to shuffle because I ended up on... again, I still don't know how to resolve Fualos properly here. Good God. But now that they have plenty of cards in hand, and I'm assuming they drew into another Ash Blossom throughout the entire time I was comboing, they could also get called by the grave, so that is fine. But that is a thing out of the way, more than the other stuff. So now, what we can do is we can shuffle Lacrima back into the deck, and we special summon the Coffin. I keep forgetting his name is Requiem. There we go. I only remember it if I see it. So now we got Requiem. There we go. And then, okay, sure, Max C is negated. That is fine. That is exactly what I wanted you to use that for anyway, rather than my own monsters. Yes, the hand traps don't count as monsters. They are hand traps. They are trap cards that are in the form of monsters. So, let's see. What else my opponent can and will be able to do here. Do note that Nightmare Pain is up, so if they ever attack with Nibiru, well, they have to attack with Nibiru, and they have to attack into the Phantom. I will negate that. I will negate that and destroy the card that you just put face down, opponent. So, there is that. And I will use this now, while I can. There we go. Because I don't think there's any other opportunity for me to do so. There we go. And we'll summon Lacrima again, so that we can send Engraver into the graveyard. And that's negated. Yes, I will destroy a card, and I will pop the card that you just set. There we go. There we go. And, oh, you wanted that destroyed. Clever you, opponent. Clever you. Alright, cool. Although, then again, that should have been the smoking gun that they used Deception in order to do their thing. So, yeah, definitely on me. But, hey... better than not popping a card on the field at all. We'll just use Fiendsmith in Paradise later because they still have one other negate to punch through in Phantom of Yubel. So there is that. And then again, it was probably right to pop the Toy Tank anyway because they were gonna pop it themselves anyway, I guess? Question mark. But they do have to attack into Phantom here if they can't get rid of it. Okay, sure. So there's that. And now it's my turn to use Phantom. Replace that effect. There we go. Destroy a Yubel in my deck instead, opponent. There we go. Okay, LZ. Oh, dear God. I am lagging like a motherfucker right now. Jesus Christ. I hope this recording gets saved somehow. There we go. Alright, cool. Now we get Spirit. There we go. And then, what else we got here, opponent? You're activating the other one. Yeah, the Toy Soldier. These are usually just one-ofs in the White Forest deck, so Definitely a thing. Okay, sure. Now we can. I mean, they're gonna add toy box again. I don't think that this is the point where we use Fiendsmith in Paradise. Not yet, anyway. I think we have to send one of the synchros once they do indeed get to it. We negated LZ's effect anyway, and I don't think my opponent has normal summoned yet. So yeah, here we go. Thankfully, LZ is not a tuner, but Rusia is. So now we use it. There we go. Fiendsmith in Paradise. You get banished. Then we send Desiree. Then Desiree effect. Because we can return Moon of the Close Heaven. There we go. Or we could return any of the other guys as well. So there's that. And there we go. Do you have a revival effect opponent? I'm pretty sure you have a way to do so. Special summon level 6 or lower. Alright, cool. They can put it back. So there's that. So it was a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. Alrighty then. So my opponent's gonna combo off for a bit. But if they don't have a way to get rid of Nightmare Pain, they're gonna have to punch into Yubel. And I win anyway, but I don't know how likely that is, given that this is freaking White Forests. They have ways to get rid of stuff on the board. And another thing, their combos take a while, so I'll just see you guys either at the point where I somehow survive, or just at the next duel. Yeah, typical stuff around these parts. After 84,000 years, my opponent finally managed to kill me. But let's see what this opening hand has for us here. Well, we do have Wallow, so we get the bird down. The bird is the word. So there we go. I'm reminded of this like really short video I released a while back, where it's just an image of Fualos with the with an angry expression on his face. It was less than 3 minutes, if I remember correctly. It was just the power that Fualos had, and it drew me into like half my deck, if I remember that correctly. And I can just ramble on while you guys watch Malice combos here. So that entire video was basically the point that that basically proves the point that hand traps like Fualos and Maxi should not exist side by side with one another. And yeah, and it's happening again in the paper game, where people have been calling for a ban on the 3 Mulcharmies. Yeah, yes, there's 3 of them now, because in an effort to try and curb the power of Maxi, they split Maxi into 3 parts. There was Fualos, there was Perulia, and I don't remember the cat one. It was basically a bird, a jellyfish, and a cat, and each one handles special summons out of a certain zone, and if they do that, they're gonna draw a card, but they will have to shuffle stuff back into the deck equal to a certain number. I don't know how to resolve that thing in paper, so thank the gods that Master Duel is a thing. So my opponent is making me draw cards, but we are under Droll. I did not see that they already got Droll because I was yapping. But they can, because of that, that is a way to play under a Fualos slash Maxi play. You can go into Fualos, but if my opponent doesn't know any better, they may have also locked themselves out, because this archetype in particular involves a fair amount of searching. And if they can't search, then they're screwed. So there's that. I don't exactly have much in the graveyard, but they're gonna want to banish their own stuff anyway. And they have 3 really juicy material. Yeah, they have 3 of them already. They don't have March Hare quite yet, so that's sad. Okay, yep, banishing Dormouse is fine. And okay, there we go. So Dormouse is out. And then yeah, set a Malice Trap. Yep, White Binder can be used for that purpose. And now they're gonna go into Cryptor, which is also a thing they can do, and then they do everything else. There have actually been early conversations that you shouldn't really run all 3 of the Malice Traps, but in the OCG, which is the place that you should honestly be going more to for tips and tricks on how to play decks in Master Duel, because this entire system right here, this entire ban list, was built off of the foundations of an older OCG ban list and has grown into its own ever since. So you guys should think more about the OCG side of things than the TCG when you're playing here on Master Duel, because it's a lot closer there than it is in the TCG. So let's see what else my opponent is gonna try and do here. Okay, and so going back on that little yapping tangent that I was at, Cryptor, nice seeing you here, Queen of Hearts. Um, all three of the traps have their functions, and they're gonna have edge case scenarios where they're going to see use anyway. I'll get into it when I finally played the deck, so we'll get there when we get there. But for now, we're just gonna end up again. This looks innocuous. Believe me when I say this is insane, because they have a lot of material that is sitting in the banish pile waiting to pop out, and it's actually really flavorful that they do that, because the banishment is kind of like a rabbit hole, surprisingly. So there we go. Some Sara these nuts. By the way, I don't have any hope. I don't have any positive win rates against this deck here. You can beat Malice, but you have to stop them before they do anything in the first place. Don't even bother trying to break their board, because they are that resilient and can dodge a lot, and I mean a lot of removal. So don't even try against Malice, especially when they've established the board, because they are not going to give an inch at all. So I guess I'm just gonna move on over to the next duel, because I have absolutely no hope. Yep, I have absolutely no way of getting through this duel now. And there is an OTK line that involves Cryptor, but I'll also get into that once I have my own version of events. So I'll just see you guys in the next duel. After 84,000 years, my Malice opponent finally managed to kill me. It seemed like they were figuring out their lines throughout the entire time that I walked away. So definitely a thing that can happen. Unfortunately, we'll need to Ash Blossom that, because we're gonna be summoning a lot. We already have some out of these nuts, so now we just need a way to get into the other stuff. So there is that. Opponent is rocking a 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 card special, which, by the way, according to the player at the shop, 41 is actually the optimal number in running Malice, surprisingly. I'll explain. I don't know why, but him and the other players have all said the same thing. 41 is more than enough. That is sad. This is sad. Holy shit. I wish they had Ash Blossom instead, but good god, man. Now, we need to... I know what I need to do. We have to do this early, unfortunately. Because opponent did not leave me with a choice. So we destroy some out of these nuts. Then we get Grave Squirmer. There we go. We're just going to go into the Fiendsmith line. And that is sad, because opponent did not exactly leave me with a choice here. So we get these two out of the way. There we go. And then move the Ghost Heaven. Yeah, you guys have seen this before. Then we go into Requiem. Then Requiem into because we don't have any other stuff in the graveyard, we have to send Engraver so that we can continue comboing off. There we go. Then we get Lacrima. There we go. She is a Foolish Burial for her archetype, so that's amazing. We get Engraver down. There we go. Then Engraver. There we go. We return. Move to Close Heaven. There we go. There we go. And then we get Aerial Eater to get into the other stuff. There we go. Boop and a boop. And then we go into Sequence. There we go. And then we need to go into Aerial Eater, sadly, rather than revive that thing. Yeah, we have to return this and this. There we go. Shuffle them back in. There we go. Then Aerial Eater, do your thing. Aerial Eater, we send some out of these nuts, the one that we have in the deck, and then we use Grave Squirmer's effect here. There we go. Then we special summon one of these out of these nuts. There we go. We'll deal with this in a bit. I just need to get through this lineup first. So we get Spirit, then we activate that effect, and because we already have a Nightmare Pain, we're just going to add this one to hand. so that it's going to be used for a later. There we go. And then we're going to go into Muckracker. There we go. And then there we go. And because we have Fualos in hand, it's not going to be so much. It's not going to be much use, unfortunately. So we go and do it like this. There we go. Then we summon Engraver out onto the field. And then we end on 3 negates. There we go. Well, we're not going to be able to do much, unfortunately, given that the Beckoning Beast got impermed, because that extra normal summon would have helped us immensely. But we work with what's been given. And we do have one-time destruction protection from Muckracker. So, yeah, let's just hope that this is going to be enough against whatever it is my opponent is going to be trying to do. So, if this is Malice, and I'm assuming it is, because they are rocking the full cybernetic field and whatnot, and even the sleeves. And that's the one frustrating thing I found with the special package that they released for Malice. It was just the sleeves and the splash art that you get, but you don't get a field at all, which is disappointing. Surprise, to say the least. Not surprising, no. So we do our thing here, and the thing to combat Malice, just stop them before they do anything. Do not allow them to do anything else, and you will be fine. So, okay, yep, they're getting Impulse, and Impulse is really good in this format right now, simply because Malice is around. Dominus, the other Dominus trap is not going to be useful for the time being. I'm assuming he takes control of my Wave Hiking Caesar, and we die from here. Let's move on to the end screen. Okay, we're here at the end screen, and don't get me wrong, Yubel Fiendsmith can still compete in this environment that we're in, with Malice being around. There are still ways that you can counter Malice. Just have Artifact Lancia, just nip them at the bud before they can do anything else. And also pack Drone and Lockbird, because they involve a lot of searching. You can still compete. Do not think that Malice is unbeatable. Do not think that you can never win against Malice. No, no, no. There are ways to counter it. Do not panic so much, alright? There are ways to beat it. It's beatable. It's just a very, very hard uphill battle, especially if your deck is unfortunately not even remotely meta. But if it can compete somehow, if it's like rogue tier and up, you can combat Malice, which is the menace of this format at the moment. And that's just Malice. What about when Ryziel comes in? Things are going to be even worse from there. So until then, you guys and everyone in between are just going to have to adjust. But now for a somber goodbye to one of my more favorite decks in recent memory. And well, I'm gonna miss this deck. It's brought me a lot of wins. It's brought me a lot of memorable moments. And well, it's time to let go and change things up here. It's still powerful, don't get me wrong. This deck can still compete. I just need to swap around the hand trap lineup. Just have 3 Artifact Lancia, because this deck doesn't care about banishing stuff anyway. Well, just barely. Grave Squirmer does the banishing. So otherwise, everything else just shuffles back into the deck or destroys stuff. Nothing ever ends up in the banish pile unless opponent has interaction. So yeah, you can still pilot this, don't get me wrong. Just swap the hand trap lineup around and you'll do just fine. But for me, I think it's time for a change of pace here, Yubel. You were fine, you were really good, but it's time to go. And I'll just see you on the flip side when I can. So if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.